Hello, my name is Rafał Szypułka. I'm the author of the data source plugin for Grafana that adds support for IBM Application Performance Management. Plugin supports IBM Tivoli Monitoring version 6, Smart Cloud APM version 7, and also on-prem version of IBM Performance Management version 8. It connects to the REST API provided by the IBM APM to collect metrics data and visualize on the Grafana dashboard. Plugin documentation and sample dashboards are available on my GitHub page. In this video, I would like to show how to quickly install Grafana, IBM APM plugin, and also Nginx that will act as a reverse proxy for the Grafana server. How to configure ITM6 and IPM8 data sources in Grafana, and how to import sample dashboards provided with the plugin and quickly verify the results on the dashboard. Here you can see IBM APM plugin GitHub page. All the steps you need to know to deploy the whole solution are documented here. So let's start with the Grafana server installation. Here you can see the link that specify the installation steps on various supported platforms. We will install a Grafana server on the Red Hat 7 server. So just copy the command to the terminal window. And start the Grafana server. Let's verify if it was started properly. Okay, so now it should run on default port 3000. Now we will verify if we can log on to our Grafana server. Default username, administrative username is admin and the password admin. Okay, our Grafana server is properly installed. Now I will install the plugin for IBM APM. On Red Hat platform, plugins should be placed in the /var lib Grafana plugins directory. So let's move to this directory. It's empty at the moment. And the easiest way to copy the plugin is just to clone the GitHub repository if the Grafana server has internet access. Git clone and the repository URL. After cloning, we should see Grafana IBM APM directory. Let's go to this directory. And these are the files and directories that should be visible in this directory. The actual data source file is placed in the dist directory. The file name is datasource.js. Here it is. So just to verify the proper path where this file should be placed is var lib Grafana plugins Grafana IBM APM dist. The next step will be to restart the Grafana server. System ctl restart Grafana server. After browser refresh, you should see IBM APM on the list of the installed data sources. Also here in the menu, data sources, add data source. It should be visible on the list here. Okay, next step will be to install Nginx reverse proxy. On my server, Nginx was installed by default with the server. If it's not installed, please install it using RPM or other package installation system. As you can see, it's already installed. Okay, so what we need to do is to just slightly modify the configuration file to redirect port 80 to Grafana port 3000. And another thing we need to do is to clean the referrer HTTP header, which is required by the calls to APM 8 server. So let's go to the etc Nginx and let's edit the file, configuration file. We look for the location parameter and we just need to copy it from the plugin documentation. Now restart Nginx. Let's go back to the browser and check if Grafana is accessible on the port 80. Okay, it is. So now we are accessing Grafana server through the Nginx reverse proxy. We are ready to define our data sources. So let's go to our data source menu, add a data source, IBM APM data source type. Okay, and first we will add data source for our APM version 8 server. This is on port 8090. Okay, so this is the full URL we should provide for the APM version 8. It requires authentication. Username is smadmin and default password is APM pass. Let's try if it works. Okay, so I forgot to put the name. Let's name it with the host name. And data source works. So we have our first data source defined. I will add also connection to the ITM6 server. Add another data source, IBM APM. Let's name it okay, and here the IP is this is on the port 15200 in case of item 6, and the URL is the following. Okay, so this is the full data provider URL we need to specify here, and basic authentication, the username is sysadmin and the sysadmin password. Data source also works. So this is how we configure data source connection to APM 8 and ITM 6. Now I will import example dashboard provided with the plugin, just to make sure everything works correctly. I will start with APM 8. Before I will import dashboard, let's make sure our environment is up and running. So let me show you the console. The example dashboard I will import shows the data from the Linux operating system agents. So let's see which agents are currently connected to the APM server. We have two Linux operating system agents. So our dashboard will collect the data from these two agents. Okay, let's go back to Grafana. And the easiest way to import exported dashboard is to use menu dashboards and import. And here we have a couple of ways how we can upload the dashboard. One is to upload the JSON file exported before, or we can just paste the JSON file, and this is the way I will use because it's probably quicker. I will go directly to my GitHub page, example dashboards. I will use the one for the IBM Performance Management 8 row. Select all, copy, go to Grafana and paste it in this window and load. Okay, this is the name of the dashboard. Let's leave it as it is, and we can select data source, and we should choose the one for APM 8 because this dashboard is based on APM 8 data import. Voila, we have our dashboard, and automatically on the list we see both agents that are already connected to the our IPM server. The same steps should be taken to import dashboard for ITM 6. Import, and let's go to the second dashboard. IBM volume monitoring, row view, select all, copy and paste here, load. We have dashboard for IBM volume monitoring, and on this dashboard we have data mixed both for ITM 6 and IPM 8. We should select the proper data source for the ITM 6, that one, and APM 8. Import, and similarly we see the agent connected to the ITM 6 server. It looks exactly the same but collects the data from the ITM 6. Now we have imported two dashboards for IBM volume monitoring version 6 and also IPM version 8. We can switch between those two dashboards quickly. Okay, this concludes the agenda for the video. Thank you for watching.